Welcome back to Halloween Horror Reviews 2025. Guys, I hope y'all are enjoying the reviews so far because, man, we're only 3 reviews in and I still have such sights to show you all. When it comes down to today's movie, this is a movie that not only believe it or not, guys, before this year, I had never seen this movie, so yes, this year was my first time watch, but also I've been wanting to cover this movie because here's the thing, guys. This movie is a source of great inspiration for my favorite survival horror franchise of all time, and that is Silent Hill. Moving on to today's review, I'm here to talk about 1990's Jacob's Ladder, directed by Adrian Lyne. In the events of Jacob's Ladder, we follow a character named Jacob Singer, who in this film is portrayed by Tim Robbins, whose experiences during the Vietnam War have left him with hallucinations and visions that, to say the least, scare the living shit out of him. Unfortunately, though, as the film goes along, these hallucinations and visions get worse and worse. Before I continue on with today's video, I just wanted to say welcome to my channel, everybody. For those of you who are coming by my channel for the very first time, be sure to hit the subscribe button to not miss a feature video, whether it's a feature review, a reaction, top 5, top 10, or whatever I've coming your way, and join me on my journey to 10K subscribers and beyond, because believe me when I say this, guys, you are not gonna miss the cool stuff I have coming your way. And for those of you who are coming back to my channel, by the way, welcome back, everybody. You have no idea how happy I am to see your faces once again. And let's also start our conversation below as well. Have you guys seen Jacob's Ladder? What did you guys think of Jacob's Ladder? Does the film scare the crap out of you? Do you think the film was really good? Do you think the film is overrated? Do you see why this film has served inspiration for Silent Hill? Let me know below. Alrighty, guys, so let's get into Jacob's Ladder. Damien! Man, this movie, before this year, I had never seen this movie. I mean, I had seen that one poster, this one, where it has that very just creepy, eerie look to it. I had seen that poster many times from my life, but believe it or not, before I saw the movie this year, I had never seen a single trailer or any bit of footage of this movie whatsoever. The only thing that I knew about this movie was that Jacob's Ladder was a big source of inspiration for Silent Hill. That is the only thing that I knew about this movie, and that there are some things that happen in this movie that are, to say the least, well, to put it simply again, that are fucked up. I was so excited to finally see the twisted, the messed up, and to say it again, the fucked up trip that was Jacob's Ladder, and man, y'all were not kidding when it came down to this movie. Jacob's Ladder is a very disorientating movie. It's a bizarre movie. It's really frightening. It can be quite scary, but man, this movie, and this is putting it lightly, it is a trip of a film, and it is really, really good. This is a movie into which I could easily talk about the plot about this movie, along with, the performances, the technical aspects, and the horror aspect about this movie, the psychological thriller aspect. I feel like I want to talk about the journey I had as I watched this movie more than anything else, with the plot, performances, even though I will talk about Tim Robbins, Elizabeth Pena, and Danny Aiello. I will talk about those performances soon. To say the least, Jacob's Ladder presents with a very disorientating, and if you ask me, it's almost, I wouldn't say disjumble nerve, because this movie is like a puzzle to solve, especially once it gets to a certain point, but man, the experience I had and the journey that I had watching Jacob's Ladder was something that I was definitely not expecting. This is a journey into which we're watching this man going through purgatory, and I'll get into that one little thing later on, but as what you guys know, this is a movie in which you're essentially watching a character going through purgatory, a non-stop, never-ending nightmare in which he's just constantly being tormented by guilt for one specific thing. As Jacob's Ladder kept on going on throughout its runtime, it went into specific sections during this movie where I was legitimately questioning what the hell was going on, because there are sections of this movie where it does jump from place to place, and you don't, I mean, at least to me, I didn't know why it did so, even though it was very, very evident as to why it was doing that. But at the same time, Jacob's Ladder is a movie that throughout its journey is a very just disorientating journey that you piece together slowly as it's going on. While Jacob's Ladder isn't necessarily a straight up horror film, it is definitely more of a psychological thriller, but at its core, it is a drama that has seeds of a psychological horror thriller sprinkled throughout this film's runtime. Tim Robbins as Jacob Singer, I thought was great in the film. Elizabeth Pena, who is the girlfriend in this movie, to which I won't get into too much because, once again, there are some spoilers when it involves her character for a very specific reason. The other great performance in this movie, and he easily gives one of my favorite lines, one of my favorite bits of performances throughout the entire film. That's Danny Aiello. Even though that Danny Aiello doesn't have that much screen time, his impact on this movie is seriously that huge. My favorite moment in this movie revolves between Danny Aiello and Tim Robbins, and is a monologue that genuinely hit me. Like, it hit me big time. Jacob's Ladder is definitely at first a very disorientating experience at first, because this is a movie that definitely just takes some hard left and some hard right turns, and it presents you with images that make you go, what the fuck? As you get more information as to what is going on, and the hints of this movie is giving you, the breadcrumbs this movie is giving you, once you get to the film's ending, Jacob's Ladder is a film that, sure, well, it does at times, does it give you the heebie-jeebies, and sometimes is that scary shitless? Absolutely yes. It still nonetheless leads you to an ending that kind of gives you a cathartic feeling, because Jacob's Ladder is a movie that, at least to me, as I was watching this film, and after I watched this movie, this is at least how I interpreted the film. Jacob's Ladder is a movie about a guy that's in constant purgatory, just trying to hold on to everything possible, and once he gets to that end bit, it's like he finally lets go of the things that he was, as to say the least, were guilty of, and he was feeling grief on, and he was feeling certain bits of going like, oh my god, I could have, just why? I absolutely loved this gritty, dirty, nightmarish vision that this film is presenting upon us. The musical score of this movie isn't much of like a loud thing. It's not much of a thing that constantly calls itself out. The thing that I absolutely loved about the musical score of Jacob's Ladder is that this is a score that is very eerie. It has this very ugly underbelly to it, and when it does be called that, when it does have those moments, it definitely does have those moments, but man, and it's a very just unsettling score that you don't even realize is slowly, and I mean slowly, just choking the life out of you at certain times. I did mention earlier on that I was going to talk about spoilers, specifically now that I'm here, about the ending of Jacob's Ladder. So for those of you who have not seen the film, spoiler warning right here, because I am going to be talking about specific mentions, specific areas of the ending of this movie. So if you haven't seen the film by now, you are warned, but here we go. At the end of the film, it is revealed that Jacob is dying. Jacob Singer is dying, and it is revealed at the very, very end of the film that literally, and it's the reason why I kept saying this phrase, it is revealed why Jacob is in a constant state of purgatory and a constant state of torture. There is one specific thing that Jacob Singer is having grief over, and I guess in a way that he hasn't forgiven himself over. And that's because that one of his sons, played by Macaulay Culkin, had died in an accident prior to him going to the war. As these scenes were playing out, at least in my interpretation from what I gathered, he could have stopped this accident. Going into Silent Hill 2 really quick, and there's a reason why I'm bringing up this comparison, so just bear with me here. For those of you who have played Silent Hill 2 or even the remake, you all know that a very famous enemy in the games, Pyramid Head, is essentially an enemy that has this looming presence, has this ominous presence throughout the game, and you do fight Pyramid Head a couple of times in the game. However, Pyramid Head is James' manifestation of wanting to be punished for his actions to his wife. Once it gets to a certain point, James comes to the understanding that that creature has manifested because of his desire to be punished. Going back to Jacob's Ladder, if you'll ask me, and this is at least my interpretation, this whole journey throughout Purgatory and Jacob's journey of being tortured and traumatized and then being constantly in pain is his desire to be constantly punished because he didn't save his son. Because he could have saved his son. Now that's just my interpretation of what I got from this movie, and I could be completely wrong. Please let me know your interpretations below in the comments below, because I really do want to know what your interpretations of Jacob's journey throughout this movie are. Which, by the way, leads me on to my favorite scene of the entire film, which is a great conversational piece between Tim Robbins and Danny Aiello's character. Throughout the film, it is very clear that Danny Aiello's character is being painted as an angel, as a chiropractor, by the way, that constantly heals Tim Robbins. There is a line that Danny Aiello's character says, and I might be paraphrasing, but it goes along the lines of this: if you're frightened of dying or moving on or holding on to something, those devils are constantly tearing you apart. However, if you've made peace, those devils are actually angels freeing you and moving you from the earth, from this source of pain. Knowing the journey that Jacob went through throughout this film, especially knowing that he feels guilty, he's feeling grief, he's feeling trauma, and not being able to forgive himself for not saving his son, and then going into the war, and then, here we go guys, going on to the ultimate part of how this movie ends. Jacob dies. However, the peace that he finally made before he dies, seeing his son, him holding onto his son, and the son saying, hey, it's okay. I love the ending of this movie. It's just a great and a beautiful, yes, it is a sad ending, but man, it made sense, and I absolutely love the ending of this movie.
Happy parents, you old fuck!
With that being said, and do not get me wrong, Jacob's Ladder is a damn good movie, but there are some things, at least to me, that hold it back from being great. The first of which being this, and that is rewatch value. Even though Jacob's Ladder is a very good film, this is not a film that I will find myself, rewatching quite often, because man, Jacob's Ladder is a heavy ass film that really puts you on, to say the least, an insane and a hellish journey through a state of purgatory. This is a film that I can guarantee will not shake off of you for quite some time. And for that reason, I don't think, at least in my personal opinion, that Jacob's Ladder is a very highly rewatchable film, because it's a film that just puts you through such hell and such a bizarre journey, to say the least. There are a couple of times throughout the film where it just feels very jumbled and quite at times very incoherent. The next thing we're going to talk about is just more of a me thing, but just bear with me guys. While Jacob's Ladder is a damn good psychological thriller, is this a movie that I could recommend you watch during, Halloween time, during spooky season? Honestly, no. I'm glad that I'm finally covering this movie for you all, but at the same time, here's the thing. This is a movie that I honestly will not watch during October time, even though I love a good horror film, and especially a great psychological horror thriller film. But Jacob's Ladder is one of those films that, even though I am covering it for Halloween horror reviews, and I'm very happy that I'm doing so, it's just not one of those types of films that I can see myself popping on for, that Halloween spirit. I can't see myself watching this film during Halloween time. So overall, while it isn't the most rewatchable film, and at times it can be a bit much, Jacob's Ladder is a damn good psychological thriller that puts you on a bizarre and insane journey, and I dug the hell out of it. All in all, I'm gonna give Jacob's Ladder a 3.75 out of 5. While this movie may not be the most Halloween type film out there, it is still a damn good psychological thriller, and it is one that I highly recommend, but just be ready for one just hell of a journey to say the least. I hope you enjoyed my review of Jacob's Ladder. If so, please hit the like button, or if you dislike this review, hit the dislike button. If you guys want to see it in my previous 2 videos, please click it right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.